guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are just joining me for the first time, my name is Rachel. Hit that subscribe button. I must warn you, there's a dog that has been barking in the distance throughout the duration of this video, and I try to turn off the recording when he's barking and allow him to have his fun, but then I've gotten sick and tired of it. So just in case you hear one dog barking, it's not my dog, it's one dog somewhere, and it's been crying the whole time. Someone needs to get their dog. So today I'm going to be reviewing, or sort of mini reviewing, the Kiss Quotient, which was Quotient. The Kiss Quotient, which was written by Helen Hoang, an American novelist, and she's obviously best known for her debut novel, which is The Kiss Quotient. I think it came out in 2018 or so. Anyway, I got to read this book because it was selected as our book of the month at the Readers Hub club that I belong to, which is a group of some of the most amazing people that I've ever met, and we meet once a month to discuss whatever books or book we've selected for that month. So because we were at home and working from home for most of April, we decided to select 2 books, and we wanted to go into the romance genre, because we typically don't delve into that. So it was a nice adventure into romance. I used to be a fan of romance novels, honestly, like when I was in my teen years and stuff like that. But then I just sort of, I don't know, I would say I grew out of it, maybe because, I don't know, a lot of stuff tends to be, not real. Yeah, I know you say, but I read fantasy and I like it and it's not real. But I don't know, I guess I just grew out of it. Maybe I should think about going back into that genre, but that's just my view for now. So I'm going to read out the synopsis of the book so that you guys can get an idea about what it's about. A heartwarming and refreshing debut novel that proves one thing: there's not enough data in the world to predict what will make your heart tick. Stella Lane thinks mathematics is the only thing that unites the universe. She comes up with algorithms to predict customer purchases, a job that has given her more money than she knows what to do with, and far less experience in the dating department than the average 30-year-old. It doesn't help that Stella has Asperger's, and French kissing reminds her of a shark getting its teeth cleaned by pilot fish. Wow. Her conclusion: she needs a lot of practice with a professional, which is why she tries to hire escort Michael Fan. Gorgeous and conflicted, Michael can't afford to turn down Stella's offer and agrees to help her check off all the boxes on her lesson plan, from foreplay to more than missionary position. Before long, Stella not only learns to appreciate his kisses, but to crave all of the other things he's making her feel. Their no-nonsense partnership starts making a strange kind of sense, and the pattern that emerges will convince Stella that love is the best kind of logic. So as said earlier, the book is about a lady who is somewhat autistic. I think she has Asperger's also, and you can Google stuff about autism. This book actually helped me learn more about different types of autism, and we also discussed some of that in our book club meet this past Saturday. So yeah, so she has this autism thing, and then there's her parents keep on hounding her about when she's going to get married. When are you going to get married? You don't even have a man in your life. And she's very successful at what she does. Apparently she's an econometrician. Okay, right. So she does all these economics things, and she loves maths, and she's amazing at it, and she makes a whole lot of money. But then her parents are like, oh, there's no man in your life, blah blah blah. And then there's some guy at her work who fancies her, but she doesn't really like him, or she's thinking, oh, maybe I should like him. But then he teases her one day that it's not even like as if maybe she's not good at kissing or something funny. Anyway, she now goes, oh, that is true, that she needs to learn how to be intimate. So she goes on a hiring escort agency website kind of thing to hire somebody. The long story short, she hires some guy who is like chiseled and perfect and gorgeous and whips his hair in the wind, and he's everything that she's ever wished for. Whatever, don't mind me, this is just my bias. So she hires this guy who they now end up becoming friends. I mean, they start out for him to teach her how to be more intimate, that kind of thing, but then they end up becoming friends and she ends up falling in love with him. He falls in love with her, but then he also has like a past of things that he has done. He's an escort, so basically he has sex with people for money and he's sort of ashamed about that, but his real passion is to like be a fashion designer. But she's also able to help him come out of just looking at himself like, oh, I'm just physically attractive, so that's all I have to offer the world. And they sort of rub off on each other in a nice way. So they're able to form a solid relationship. She gets to meet his parents, he gets to meet hers, but they sort of, instead of what he was supposed to offer initially, she offers him money to teach her how to be a girlfriend, to be in a proper relationship. So for a month they're sort of pretending to be boyfriend and girlfriend, and then she's falling in love with him and he's falling in love with her. At the end of the day, there's one period where they break up and then they come back together because they realize, oh my goodness, I cannot do without you. You're everything I've ever wanted. I'm just going to give my thoughts on this book. I thought that the book was beautifully written. It was straight to the point. I got the message. I learned quite a number of things, like I said, about autism and stuff like that. But because romance is not really like my thing, honestly, I tried. I had an open mind, and that's why I can tell you that it was beautifully written, because the language was simple, everything flowed into the other. It was not complex, and typically romance books are easy to read. They just, because your mind is already conjuring up so much images about the perfect fantasy world of how perfect the two of them look and all of those things. I didn't love it. I think that the plot was somewhat predictable. It was quite predictable, and I don't know whether it's because I've read too many romance novels where two people, they fall in love, they meet under circumstances where, I mean, you're not supposed to fall in love with the person. Maybe one rich girl, poor guy, rich guy, maid, house cleaner, owner of house, poor person, rich person, businessman, person at the workplace. Anyway, the two people shall meet under circumstances they're not supposed to meet, and then they fall in love. They realize that they're madly in love, but then somebody has a past, there's something that holds the other one back. Then they break up for a short while, they realize how miserable they both are. They eventually come back together and live happily ever after. I think that it was somewhat predictable along those lines, but I love the fact that, one, the author was able to, even at the end, she had some nice review questions which we even used in our book club meet on Saturday when we talked about the book via Zoom. And then I also love the fact that the author herself, I think she's autistic too, and she has Asperger's or something like that, so she could definitely relate, because she left a note at the end of the book and she could definitely relate with the main character. I think that that's sort of when the main character was born, who is the lady in question. So yeah, I think all in all, I think that the book was a nice read. You know, if you're someone who is mad about romance books, look, like when I googled and I researched and I saw some of the reviews on this book, like people were literally dying, falling over their heads, like, oh, the best book I've ever read, the best book in centuries, in decades. People were like ready to kill themselves for the book, and I'm like, you know what, that's part of life. You're not everybody's cup of tea, and everybody's not your cup of tea. So the genres that you like, you like. The ones you don't like, you don't like. It doesn't mean that because people like it, that you don't understand why they like it, does not make them any crazy or whatever. So I liked it. It was a nice read. I liked discussing it. I learned a couple of, because I'm deep, I learned some deep lessons. But it's a book that if you just want to pass time, you want to escape totally and just go into like a corner and read it and have fun and just be like, yes, oh my goodness, my Prince Charming is coming, even if he may come in the form of an escort. Yeah, go ahead. That's for you. So, but for me, I'm like, nah, it's just not my thing, and I'm not sorry, because everybody has what's their thing. So if you've read this book and you liked it, or you haven't read it, or you're a fan of the romance genre, please let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the book. Let me know what you think about the romance genre in general. Let me know your thoughts. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.